Hello guys and welcome back to Was It Poppin'. So today it's me Surya and we're gonna talk about the new latest Marvel and Disney Plus show that was just released, Obi-Wan Kenobi. For me, currently this show dropped. It's supposed to be a 6-part show and they've dropped 2 episodes last week, and from what I've watched it was one of the top Star Wars shows that is. I wouldn't say it's better than Mandalorian. Obviously, Mandalorian's always going to be number one, but probably it'll be Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and Book of Boba Fett. For me, this show is really good, and the really cool thing they did was at the start of the show, they did a whole review about Obi-Wan Kenobi in the whole Star Wars trilogy from Episode One all the way to the last one where he was in, which was Episode 6. So it was really cool to try, as Marvel also do that for their Marvel Legends for each character. So it's a very interesting thing for me to see. And this was also kind of a gap filler because this show is based on after the Order 66 was initiated, the Empire had taken control over everything. And this is set where Obi-Wan is still taking care of Luke and Leia as they were very very young. So it starts off with Obi-Wan in Tatooine taking care of Luke because Luke is still young, even though he was given to his uncle Ben Lars, but Obi-Wan is still there to take care of Luke Skywalker. And he also takes care of Leia, even though Leia is like an Organa. Also, if you watch the show, you will understand why he takes care of Leia also. So for me, this is Star Wars strategy that I've been seeing. Because if we look at Mandalorian, Mandalorian is set where also almost like a gap filler because Gorgon, obviously the baby Yoda, it is taken over by Luke Skywalker. So that means it does not follow the actual timeline. It's in between where Luke is still quite young. So I would say episode 6 or episode 7-ish. So that was also a gap filler if you see Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett also, yes, it's right after Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett is basically following the Mandalorian trilogy. But if we, and Star Wars has been doing, or even that they have an animated version of the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is not really into the real Star Wars, but it was a nice spin-off series of the animated version. So this is the trend I've been seeing is Star Wars has realized that their movies are not doing very well. So that is why their strategy of these TV shows are managing to work, and they're really doing the work, and the shows are really really good. They're really really improving from one show to another. Like I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is really really planned out quite well, and it's definitely going to be very interesting. Although I kind of hate it because it's only a 6-part show. Obviously they can't do seasons for this Obi-Wan because it's just a gap filler. Something like the Rogue One, a Star Wars story, like that movie was also a gap filler between episode 3 and episode 4. So something like that, this was also a gap filler because Star Wars can't really follow the timeline, because if they were to follow the timeline they would have to create another movie after the Last Jedi, and after the Last Jedi I don't know, so after the Rise of Skywalker, and I don't know if they really want to create a movie after the Rise of Skywalker, after the performance that it had on everybody. But in my opinion, if Star Wars keeps working on all these shows properly, these gap fillers really produce some amazing storylines, I think that the fans, and when they gain enough trust from the fans, they could potentially in the future, not anytime near, I would say 2 or 3 years, maybe 2 years, if they do really good shows, really work on their craft, we will allow them to drop another movie. But they shouldn't screw it up like the other movies. They should really have a proper timeline of it. Because I know there's also a lot of challenges continuing the series because of the actor for Princess Leia has also passed away. So it'll be kind of not right. Princess Leia is also dead, right? So, but like everyone from the last movie we saw that they all escaped in the ship and ran off. So they really want to do it. They really got to do it properly. But in all, I think that Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be a really good show. I would definitely recommend you to go and watch it as soon as possible. It's going to be very good. But I'm still unclear whether they're going to drop 2 episodes each week or it's going to be one. Because if they drop 2 episodes each week, I don't know, it's gonna kind of suck, because like it's only 6, right? So then they'll be only able to do it 3 times, which sucks. Like, the awaiting for even normal TV shows, the best part is awaiting the episode for the next week to drop, which is really cool thing. So I hope that Star Wars just drop 2 because of the start, because as a grand opening. I hope that in the weeks to come they just drop one by one. So it's really interesting to see Obi-Wan in this series, because it's Obi-Wan who has lost his touch. And from what we saw in this part, Obi-Wan has still not realized that Anakin is alive and become Lord Vader. So it's very interesting to see the progression on how he meets Lord Vader, and how he's going to train Luke, he's going to train Leia. Obviously in the movie they explain like they were young, but they can't go too into deep much because the movies would accelerated it a bit, obviously, like any movie would. But this show is really going to give us a real depth and point of view of how Obi-Wan was after Order 66 was initiated. So yeah, it'll be a very interesting show to see. We will see how it pans out, and we will see how the whole show turns out. Maybe the starting is good, maybe the ending is bad, maybe it's just a really good show in general. We don't know. Future is not certain. So yeah, that is all from me. I will see y'all at the end of the show for a full review when time to come. So yeah, that's all from me, and peace.